I want to just talk real quick about Miss D, okay? Miss Dee Felipe, MBA. Diverse career expanding over 15 years, which includes consulting for Fortune 500 companies and city agencies. And she had a passion for addressing and promoting the different pillars in health and wellness in the community. So what did she do? She said, I'm going to create something. I'm going to found and create My Caring Wish LLC, an organization that provides comprehensive services that support and foster the health and wellness for people of all ages. There ain't no age range, it's all ages. She believes in those 7 pillars that govern My Caring Wish: self-care, healthy eating, fitness, financial management, and overall optimal health. Yes, that's what I am talking about right now. You gotta make sure you give it up. And so this morning, we are bringing in the Queen from New York, Miss D. I hope I said your last name right. Did I say your last name right, Queen? Did I?
Yes,
Yes, I said it right. Dee Felipe, yes, MBA. Good morning. You're on the morning machine. How are you?
Hi, good morning. Hey, from New York.
she said, hey, I'm from New York City representing. No, I feel you. I feel you.
Welcome to New York City.
New York City, stand up.
Hey,
I see it.
Hey, worldwide.
I see a lot of people in here from New York City, and they always represent right here on the machine. And thank you all over New York and everywhere for rocking with the machine this morning and making it a part of your routine. And let's start here, right? So I want to get started with a question, right? So first of all, there's a question that you brought up. What is your take on the current state of the pandemic, COVID, and its mental wellness impact?
Yeah, right. So it's the state of COVID. It's like, well, let me start off with this, right? Right now, I want everyone to know, hi, I'm Dee Felipe. Thank you so much for having me. I'm looking forward to this dialogue and just connecting. I want everyone to know I am not a certified therapist or a mental health specialist. However, I've been a wellness consultant and a trusted outlet for other people for over 15 years. I work in the health and mental hygiene space for New York City. I'm a fitness instructor with a concentration in dance. And most importantly, I take good care of myself from the way I eat to how I stay active. In addition to meditation and therapy, it's a lifestyle for me. So I believe in being well-rounded with self-care and doing the tough work, physically and mentally. So I'm also about people's overall health, right? And so I just want to be a resource and to be open and sharing with others and continue this dialogue. And so with that being said, here we are in the next phase of like COVID-19, right? The pandemic, and it's like every week it seems like it's a new strand, right? So just we know that things are improving and hospitalization and death from COVID continue to decline, and vaccination and treatment is broadly available, but definitely in the cities. And more people are being able to like safely socialize and participate in daily routines without as much risk or fear. And although we never should forget about the lives that we lost, many blessings to all the families. But as of February 10th, 6.3 million New Yorkers are fully vaccinated, and 85% of New Yorkers have received at least one dose. So although these days we have noticed that the relaxation of restrictions have signaled success for our COVID response effort, we're still experiencing anxiety with some residents too. Mm-hmm. So let's just be mindful that approximately 1 in 5 New Yorkers experience like a mental health disorder each year. And so with that, like how many days have you heard people say or said it yourself, I need a break. Like I need a break from work. That's like those mental health days, right? So if you're like, if you're like not struggling with that or like your own mental health challenges, chances are you're working with someone that that is. So mental health challenges are extremely common, and they're frequently like remain hidden due to stigma that's associated with it. So, stigma can be seen as judgmental attitudes or negative perceptions, which lead to like negative thoughts. But, we want to change that conversation around mental wellness. And people are coping with fear, anxiety, stress, financial concerns. And we just want to be able to have a conversation where we know that we're together in this. And thank you all listeners for listening this morning for this like fun, candid discussion around wellness and all the different pillars of your life and how we can help transform that.
And speaking of wellness, and from what I understand, you're also in the industry where you monitor those reports and analyze funding for programs, and those programs such as your organization, My Caring Wish LLC. Talk about the journey and how that got started.
Yeah, yeah. So it was definitely a journey and just everyday experiences. Like in 2015, 2016, I experienced like my own like life changes with health and career. And for the last few years, I've been working in the health and mental health sector and like protecting and promoting physical health, environmental health, and mental health for over 8 million people, the greater New York.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, I started out a passion. It all came with my life of doing a lot of like financial literacy in schools and just volunteering and being a resource and wanting to do more in real estate. And as I was like developing these different things of my life, I was like, wow, these all fit into some form of resource. And being very social, I believe in like connecting with people and having like that community of like sisterhood and friendship and building, and that's how it all kind of formatted. And My Caring Wish is the organization that provides services that foster the health and wellness of our clients. We have sessions. We talk about like whether it's weight gain or feeling overwhelmed. It's different resources to help people feel very much more comfortable as they go into their daily lives. Right. A lot of times people want to conquer so many different things, whether it's their spiritual groundings, their dietary, or their fitness, or their finances. And it's like My Caring Wish just help you figure out a strategy to work on each of those pillars in a daily routine where you don't feel overwhelmed, but you're able to promote different ways of your life in the fullest.
There you go. There you go. And so you developed now in the midst of a pandemic, right? And we're still in alert Atlanta. We're still in a pandemic.
Yeah.
We gotta say that though, because
Yeah.
that's what's happening. In the midst of that, talk about how My Caring Wish has really helped others to really get through this tough time, because there's a lot of uncertainty out there. There's a lot of things going on, and I just want to talk about the inspiring things about My Caring Wish that has helped a family, that has helped somebody's loved one get through what they needed to get through health wise.
Yes, definitely. So with My Caring Wish, I can start out with so many pillars, right? So I'll start with my diagram, right?
Yes.
And as I stated, it's a way for people to not feel overwhelmed with trying to accomplish so many different things in just one day, right? So we have 7 days out the week that
That's
we
right.
identify from Sunday to Saturday, and each day is considered a pillar in which it addresses um, the different sectors of your life of wellness, right? So Sunday is Spiritual Sunday. A lot of times people like to show respect to their higher power
Absolutely.
and make it meaningful for them.
Right.
And that's the day that we would focus on your spiritual wellness, right? And you look for your guidance, you show your faith and what you believe in. Monday is Mental Monday, where on that day you decide to look deep into your soul and try to figure out that, the mental health affects your thoughts, your behavior, the energy, your mood, and all those different stages, and why it's really important to not just ignore that, but actually address it. And let's focus it on Monday as you start in like your work week. And then, we'll go through each of the pillars, but something that came to mind regarding something I've helped someone during the pandemic. I'm a dance instructor, right? So I teach like mainly cardio hip hop.
Oh,
and I love it. And
okay.
Yeah. I like the movement. I've been dancing as a child. I danced in college on the dance team, and then like after I started like teaching more some dance in the city, and it took a toll on me when I wasn't able to like physically be in a studio when COVID first initially came. But I did know like for my students like how they would reduce stress when they come into my room, because it's a different type of class, right? My class deals with meditation. We open it up with grounding everyone into the room, into the space, because people coming from different walks. They're coming from work. They may have just cursed their kid out because they didn't want to finish their homework. Whatever they've gone through, when they come to my room, it's all love. It's like energy that's promoting positivity. And then we get an amazing workout on, right? Where we're sweating, we're laughing, we're moving. And I remember one particular student, we had in the class is mirrors, and where people were positioned. Some people could see themselves, some I guess they can or they want to. But it was one student that was not comfortable with being by the mirror, and I didn't acknowledge it at first. Like I didn't recognize it until like I had to like look at her and see that she had this anxiety around where she was positioned inside of the room. And I had a discussion with her and let her know that your beauty is your beauty as you walk through this space and help improving yourself. And that's just like the physical being, and just having like a discussion with her. And then we kind of open up at the end. We have a gratitude session where people talk about what they're thankful for, and people connect. And I've never had an experience where people connect in a dance class or fitness class, but that's how I designed mine. And they spoke to her about like body image and like self-improvement and increasing confidence. And that was like such a powerful impact that she continued to come, did some Zooms online, and just like work around that, and just a cool vibe. And I really appreciate just students like that, or just people in general, where we can open up and kind of be a support for one another.
Interesting you say you talked about the dance. And I have a fun question for you. Since I have two left feet, can you teach me how to Dougie? No, okay, that's not, no, that's, I'm just messing. No worries. Anyway, moving on. But I'm sure you could though. But anyway.
I just how to Dougie, yes.
Anyway, no, I just had to get that fun question out there. But the more important question is, you mentioned dance. Now, dance for a lot of people is a method to cope with stress or everyday triggers that may happen. If dance is one, what are some other of your favorite methods in, maybe even through experiences of your own? What have been some of the most favorite methods that people have to cope with those stresses or everyday triggers?
Yes, good question. Yeah. To go back to dancing, I love dancing. Like I can watch a performance and it could be so powerful that I could want to cry. And the reason why is because I know the dedication that it must have taken to perform such a good performance, right? Like those nights when you can't get that routine down, or you trying to focus on the music, you trying to have sync with your dance partner, like just all of that. I can feel it. So when I watch a performance like Janet Jackson, who's my sister's favorite artist, or just Beyonce, just looking at the rhythm, the choreography is just so inspiring to me, and I love it. And the state of being in a combination of like mental and physical health with stress, just realizing that stress is a part of our everyday life, but it's kind of like our take on it and how we focus on it and the energy that we put into it as we progress, and knowing that it's a stage that you're in at this current moment, but it's gonna transition to something. If you think about any stresses that you had, whether it was last week, chances are it's something that you had overcame by now, or it's progressing, or you figure out a strategy, but it's never, for the most part, always in the same state. So coping with stress in a healthy way would make you and the people around you in your community stronger. So I like to do like six things. One is take time to relax.
Mm-hmm.
Relaxation is an important tool to help your body and mind like recuperate. Some relaxation techniques include meditation, deep breathing, taking a walk, especially in nature, making time to unwind and remind yourself that these feelings will fade. Talking about like taking a walk, like I love nature, love hiking, like being outside, hearing
Right.
the sound of water. Like those are different things that you can, utilize at your own disclosure. Then also go to bed. That's that's challenging sometimes for me because I like to be up late working. But sometimes
Well,
when you feel that anxiety, just go to bed. Just hit your head on a pillow and just call it a night, right? Like those long
right.
hours, yeah. And like being on like the technology, social media, all that could be challenging.
Yeah.
So deep depression can like impact your mood. So sometimes even taking a nap, just maybe 30 minutes, 20 minutes, just go to bed. And then most importantly, of course, I said dancing. It's like the number one language, and moving and having that joy. And then connecting with people. I
Mm-hmm.
think like sharing your concerns with family or friends or close ones,
Mm-hmm.
and help you build like a healthy relationship and a strong like support system. And sometimes you may not want to speak to someone directly that you know, or that know people that you may have a challenge with. So I believe in therapy or having like a counselor, or that's what my Caring Wish is for, being like an outlet, joining different programs where you can speak from a different perspective and get like a not a biased view, because people don't really know the other party. So that helps.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes when you are stressed, is sometimes not being knowledgeable about certain things. So staying informed, but not too informed, not too woke, because sometimes you gotta go to sleep when you're too woke. But when you feel you're missing, when you feel like you're missing information, sometimes you become more stressed and nervous about it. So maybe just staying informed, like reading, being updated, and not just being mindful of like rumors, or check like the reliable sources to get your information. So those are just a few things and ways that you can like cope with everyday triggers, and dealing with the mental side of your thought process and everyday triggers.
It's interesting. We talk about the stress and everyday triggers, and some of that could relate to grieving, because grief is a big one. Usually, you see a lot of things take a turn when you have to go through grief, the loss of a loved one. And people's mental states could be way different as it pertains to that, because people grieve differently, or people deal with stress or everyday triggers way differently than you may. So why is taking care of your mental state important, especially during these times of uncertainty?
Yeah, right. So that's a big one. Mental health is really important. It's a part of the overall health and well-being. It's like like right now, everyone knows. Like at this moment, my arm is bothering me. Don't know why. It's like a strain on my from my elbow to my wrist. And I'm like, what
Mm,
did I do in the last week? Or like, what is going on? And immediately I'm like, I need to go to the doctor.
mm-hmm. Right,
Right? Like, let me book an appointment. I don't feel like making a time, but clearly I don't know if I need an x-ray, what's going on, right? But something's
right,
going on.
right.
And that's instant, right? That you're thinking of that. But with your mental state, which controls every part of your body, when you have some thoughts that you don't know what's going on, some fears, anxiety that doesn't seem quite right, and you've been thinking about it for a few days, do people say, okay, let me speak to someone? And it's kind of like one of those things where it's a very important part of your overall health and well-being, because it affects how you think, how you feel, how you act. how you handle stress, how you relate to others, and choices that you make in an emergency. So, not only is like social isolation due to like this COVID and wearing the mask and not really seeing people smile, like that can cause some sadness and depression, anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you add on the fact that Black people, we experience more dying disproportionate rate, with this
Yeah.
virus and extreme, like just overall stress and anxiety and violence. And it's taken a toll on, people of color, Black people, and how we all have to deal with that part of like mental health. And
Mm-hmm.
so 14% of the, United States population, like 46 million people identify as being Black, and historical trauma, which includes, of course, like slavery and sharecropping, race-based exclusion from health and education, and socioeconomic resources relate to the socioeconomic disparities experienced by Black people today. And the socioeconomic status in terms is linked to mental health, and people who face less financial resources, homeless, incarceration, and have substance use problems are at a higher risk of poor mental health. And unfortunately, whether it's like Black men, a lot of times in particular, are concerned about the stigma in mental health and
Mm-hmm.
dealing with systemic racism. It's is the reason why a lot of percentage of 40% of the prison population have some inmates that should be actually be in mental institutions and not incarcerated, right? But no one discussed like
No one wants to
Black
talk
people
about
and
that.
how racism and all of that. It's just a portion of that. It deals with the system and how they view us as criminals and not like someone that has a mental concern, and how to address that. And just believing that in families and households, people don't talk about it, right? Maybe if you had anxiety or depression, it may be considered quote unquote crazy in some circles. And now we just want to be able to have the discussion to state that no, it's fine, and creating a space where people can honestly impact those situations and realize that we all are infected by the virus, which is called racism, prejudice, bias, being biased, right? And so it's a
Mm-hmm.
mental health concern, it's a public health concern. And that's why taking care of your mental state is really important, and having that discussion and knowing that it's not just directly you, but it's society, and it's how things have been formulated to have us all through this struggle. But like now we're getting woke, right? We get becoming more knowledgeable. We're sharing more information, and we're realizing that it's a public health concern. And so now that we have that, we know that now we can all take care of each other and take care of ourselves, including in that.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's 12 minutes past the hour on the morning machine, the machine that makes your mornings move, with the founder of My Caring Wish LLC on an Earn Your Leisure Tuesday with Dee Felipe MBA. I like how that rhymes too. Dee Felipe MBA. I like that. It has a great ring to it. Didn't mean to Johnny Cochran that, but that's how it is. Yeah, rest in peace, Johnny
Yeah.
Cochran. But I want to go into something for a second, because with all of us, with everything out here that triggers us, especially as Black men, our backs are already up against the wall anyway. Our backs are against the wall when we wake up every morning, and we have to always watch our back, and we have to be mentally prepared for somebody's going to mess with us today, or be prepared because this might happen, this might happen, this might happen. Whereas, the other, and we'll just say it like that just to be in a respectful manner,
Mm-hmm.
they don't have to have those conversations and what have you. And, when you offer these, when you offer sessions in reference to the 7 pillars, to really build a overall wellness, or as I look at this 7 pillars chart here, and by the way, it's absolutely phenomenal, by the way, let me just say that. As I look at this, right,
Yes.
it's basically a full circle of wellness. Do you agree?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So now, when I say a full circle of wellness, and see, you got the spiritual, you got the mental, you you have the dietary, intimate, physical, finance, and social, and then it revolves all the way back to the beginning of the week, and it's centered upon your your overall health and wellness. And here's my question: should the takeaway from this be that My Caring Wish offers sessions where you can have a safe space to where you'll be able to get some coaching on how to really become fully well and well rounded in that wellness? Would you say that? What would be the takeaway here?
Yes, exactly. So thank you for that. Yeah, so people would do an assessment, right? Because as stated, there's so many different pillars of your life that individuals want to work on, but it's like, where do I start? So the assessment will help evaluate where should you start. Is your priority your diet? Is it your finance? Or maybe it's like you want some love. Happy Valentine's Day to all the singles and the people that are in relationships. Love on
LL Cool
love.
J, I need love.
Yeah. So it's all around that. And the assessment will populate different prompts and questions that will help you determine which one is a more of a focus pillar, and we'll go through the steps to help you analyze it, get some thoughts out, and figure out your next steps. So that's pretty fun, exciting, and educational. In addition to being like vibrant and live, because I'm a live person, me being in New York, I'm out here in these streets and very much active, and I like to have fun, but also the education is a strong part for me. So within those different pillars, it's designed to help you just have a better understanding of your view in life and how you want to move forward, and know that we're all evolving, and as you learn more, you can earn more, and you can teach, and you can just be a better productive citizen in society.
Absolutely, absolutely. And see, that's the thing. You you have all the education. You also are a great dance instructor as well. And I promise you, I need to be taught the Dougie. Okay, no, let me stop. Let me stop. Okay, but and then also you're assisting people in their well-rounded health and wellness, and I think it's absolutely phenomenal. And then going to the seven pillars, it's not just a diagram. You also have a booklet based on the seven pillars of wellness. Talk about that, and what's the proper way to utilize it.
Yeah, so journal, and it's like take this journey with me, right? So I invite everyone to, and for your listeners, they contact me. They can get the first 25 people will get a free booklet for My Caring Wish, and which it is a self evaluation experience through discovery and journaling. And, journal is a written record of your thoughts, experience, and observation. So when you create this, go through this booklet, which is one pillar each day, do creative writing. So each day for a week, you can reflect and focus on your vision of wellness from the different pillars of your life. So you answer the prompt questions, which invite you all that's listening to take a moment and consider what would you do and how you protect yourself and guide your spiritual, your mental, your dietary, your intimate, your physical, your financial and social wellness. And after like the first week of discovery and concentration, you should have a clear understanding of self and appreciation for the direction that you're going. And I just like want everyone to like enjoy the journey, and you're gonna have some experiences where you probably didn't think about that in such a while, and like knowing that wow, some pointers that you can learn from, and just be able to have conversations maybe with your loved ones, or
Mm-hmm.
even have them incorporated into it. Could be something that you talk about at dinner. A lot of times people don't even eat dinner together, so
Oh,
maybe like having this
true.
booklet could be like something that you could do with your family. But I invite like individuals to take it serious for themselves, and it's not overwhelming. It's something that you're gonna do within as much as 5 minutes to maybe even more, maybe an hour. But once you just start, you get that pen or that pencil, and you just start doodling and writing those creative thoughts. come out, and it's something that you have to just focus on yourself. Where you probably like, I don't even have time, but just dedicate like 5-10 minutes to yourself each day, and just see what you can actually unfold.
You know what? It's so interesting that you just mentioned people don't even have dinner with their families anymore like we all used to when we were coming up. Let alone you only okay, let's put it this way, okay? And I'm going to relate this to the 7 pillars of wellness because this one really hits to a lot of our homes these days, especially after the kids, the grandkids, the what have you, grow up. They all go their separate ways because they have their own families and their livelihood, but nobody comes back to you. No matter what you call the grandmother or you call a big mama or what have you, but it's the whole thing of nobody eats at the table anymore. You just mentioned that. So how does that play a part in, how important is that in the 7 pillars of wellness? Because a lot of people want to be with their families, but you just can't get everybody together anymore in this time like we used to. How just talk about that and relating to the 7 pillars.
Yes, yep, you're so right. So actually today is Tuesday, and Tuesday is Dietary Tuesday. So speaking of eating with families, today is a dietary wellness. And dietary wellness can be defined as a science that look at the relationship between our diet and our health, and the quality of the food that we eat and how it impacts our overall physical and mental health. So eating healthy is not just something that we talk about or we say you should do, but it's actually something that impacts your brain cells, right? So incorporating more fruits and vegetables and actually drinking more water can go a long way towards achieving like a healthier lifestyle. And when you're thinking about just the family dynamic and whether you're eating at home, just pick one day out of the week. I have like Social Saturday is where, a lot of times on the weekend where people want to like socialize with their family and friends. That could be a day where you have like dinner with the family and how that will impact like just getting to know one another just outside of the routine. And your children or your family members, they're growing, they're learning, they're experiencing different things in life. And now with social media, a lot of kids are learning a lot on these apps. And it's like, what are your kids learning from TikTok? What are they learning from Instagram? Are you having those discussions with them? Like my nephew, I'm monitoring like what are you looking at? Like, show it to me before you try to register for something or you're reading something, whether it's, in finance or about something on the news. It's like, no, let me see that article that you're reading. Send it to me because some things that you're reading may not be accurate or legit. And a lot of times people are not able to decipher that, what's real and what's not real, what sites to go to, where to get your information from. So I think eating together and having those discussions with your family, just very casual questions that you just never may have thought about. And like today for Dietary Tuesday, one of the questions in the booklet would be like, plan one change that you would make this week towards eating a healthier diet, whether that's incorporating a smoothie tomorrow morning versus having a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, right? I love smoothies, and I love smoothies, and I think like mangoes and pineapples are the best thing that you could put in a smoothie. So I invite the people on here who was thinking about a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, maybe create like a smoothie tomorrow with some kale or, some spinach. And that's just different ways that you can just change with little steps for your life.
Let me find out you're in my mind right now by that bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich right now. See, you would pick that, wouldn't you? Now I got to re-engineer my thinking now. Thank you so much.
Right.
but you know what? Let me ask you this. Why, of all days out of the week, the intimate day is Wednesday? Why?
What day would you have preferred it?
Hey, we can be intimate every day, but I'm trying not on the morning show. you're trying to bait me into something I'm not supposed to say. But but why do you choose Wednesday as the intimacy as opposed to any other day out of the week?
Right. Okay. Yes, definitely for a reason. So, people actually think of it's called. It could be every day, any day, all day of love. But it made me think about like Hump Wednesday, right? When people say Hump Wednesday,
Oh boy.
I was like, this is the middle of the week. Let's get some dedication to our partners, to our loved ones, where we kind of just really busy, right? And so this Intimate Wednesday is for, your partner or even like the love that you have for yourself. And just like addressing that, like what's some favorite things you like to do with your partner? What are some ways that you guys can connect a little better before the weekend even comes, right? Where it's like, okay, maybe I'll take them out on Saturday, but like even before that, just express it throughout the week of showing communication, being vulnerable, allocating time, because that's the most important thing. A lot of times we just on the go, and on the go, but to just spend time reflecting and sharing energy, sharing space, sharing love. And that's what Wednesday was just for. And it definitely made me think of like the Hump Wednesday and like getting your groove back and like expressing that during the week, the middle of the week.
I mean, it was almost obvious, but I just figured I'd go ahead and ask that. But since you mentioned get your groove back, Stella. But anyway, with that, now the Thursday. Now after that wind down on Wednesday, we go to Thursday with the physical. So this is more so the the walking, the the fitness portion of the week. Would you say, is that correct?
Yes. Yep. Exactly. So this is the walking, the working out. I think like when was the last time you kind of just looked in the mirror and like checked out your skin and see if there's any new moles on your face or freckles or those pimples, like just the physical appearance. Right. As I think back, we always don't spend so much time on even like our family health history, and that's important too. And so like just having like continue regular screening water, just being active can help like reduce develop like illnesses or just different stress. So I think like working out really help just being in a better state and living longer and having a healthy life. I want to live till over 100, right? But I want to be there living and being fit and being vibrant, right? I'm, just say I have over 15 years experience. So of course I'm not like 25, but I say I'm 25 plus shipping and handling. And it's local shipping, not international, right? That's my saying. And so with that, I need to stay fit enough so that I can still, get down and do the Dougie and, shake my tail feather,
Oh, so, Lord. It's morning, but go ahead.
I want to be able to do those things. And the way you do it is just staying active in whatever ways you like to be active. And like some people like to swim, jogging. I'm not a runner. I envision me being a runner, but I'll rather walk and dance as my workout. So it's like find what's fun to you, right? Whether it's bike riding or any of those type of things, whatever gets you flowing, just incorporate that into your life and don't stop and don't feel like it's not enough. Baby steps, and it will go a long way.
Yeah, and that physical on Thursday, that kind of that gets your blood flowing, so that way you can get to Friday, because on some for most Fridays, whether you're weekly, weekly, or you pay yourself, Friday is the day that everybody gets paid. Like the song "Just Got Paid."
That's what comes to mind,
you know
right?
what I'm saying? But when you do get paid, you're thinking about the wellness of your finances. Talk about the essence of that.
Yeah. So just got paid. It's Friday night, but we want that pay to last beyond Friday night, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, how do you incorporate your financial plan and having like a financial plan as a guide as you go through your life journey? If you are in the driver's seat of your finances, you know where you're going, right? I don't want to be in the back seat of my finances. I can't tell nobody when to make that turn. I can't play the music that I want. You know, I can't roll the windows down. I like to dance when I'm driving. And so it's like doing that and being ambitious about your goals, and whether it's your career goals or your financial goals, is like having like that future projection of your life, having a budget, talking about your financial goals, talking about your financial goals with your partner, and making sure that you both are in line. Talk about your financial goals with your children, and make sure that they understand that you have bills to pay, and how does these bills work, and how does credit work, and if you have a house, and talking about mortgages, and a home line of credit, just like all the things that just dump it on your children, and don't try to just stifle them, or feel like they're not at an age where they should learn. Like every day is like a learning experience. So what you're going through is just always a way of how to break it down where your child can understand, but definitely inform them, because we realize that when you go to college, like I was in when I initially left out of school, I was a software consultant, and I used to travel 100% of the time. I was on a plane at least twice a week, and I worked for different corporations and changing their strategy worldwide. Whether it was Nike, I was with IBM, and so many different companies, and helped them change out their software system for their clients, and for like their team. And so when I was in this position, I didn't see many people that looked like me, let alone a female, a black woman, Latina woman. It was a lot of white men, or maybe Indian men, and it was like, why is that, right? Like, what are they learning that we're not learning in our schools or in our homes, and
Right.
how to help change that, how to be a focal point on that. And I went to schools. I started with my high school, and I built a relationship. I had a relationship with the principal, and even my junior high school principal, and I wanted to teach them about soft skills, and things to know before you even get to college, right? Like, we all have to deal with life, and we're going to have credit cards, and we're going to have to manage our accounts, and we could talk about like different stocks, and what are you wearing? Like, we know that young people today are the trendsetters, right? Like, kids know, when the Nikes are coming out, when Jordans are coming out, designers, like, we know trends, and like identifying trends to how to invest in the market. And I was fortunate enough to be in the market from the time I graduated and had my first full-time job, and even like my internship. Shout out to Enrose, where we got the opportunity to be intern in Fortune 500 companies. And from that point, I realized how important it was to manage your finances, to understand about investing and budgeting, and saving, and being able to have those emergency funds. And that's something that's really important. And the Friday is like a way to figure that out, whether it's paying your bills or whatever day you have set. But it's before the weekend starts, you've got paid, and it's continued to like in growing your future strategies.
There it is. And you got to have that finance Friday. So before I even get to Saturday, so now we talked about the spiritual on Sunday earlier. We did the mental on Monday. Talked about the dietary, and the breaking bread at the table on Tuesday. The intimacy of Wednesday, which almost went too far. No, I'm just messing. The physical on Thursday, where you getting your cardio in, you're getting it going, and what have you. You're moving and grooving, you're getting the blood flowing on Thursday. Friday, you're taking care of the finance, because you just got paid, so, and you're moving some things around to make sure the household is straight and afloat, and the kids are good, the family's good, everything is good. In time for Saturday and the social. Woo! Somebody's going out Saturday night, somebody's stepping out on the town, somebody's doing whatever. But how do you view, as it pertains to these 7 pillars, the final pillar, the social side of Saturday? Talk about it.
Yeah, a fun day. Sometimes you say fun day Sunday, but we have social Saturday. That's even like fun, and that's how you engage with your family and friends. And research has shown that it's such a benefit to your mental state, your emotional, and your physical state when you're expressing time and allocating time with your loved ones. And we learn that interacting with others and building relationships has a strong impact on our social lives. And that's something that we want to continue to grow. And I think like with COVID, that was a major thing that really changed the dynamic of society with,
Yeah.
like not being with each other that's 6 feet apart and just like I was home and I'm a social person. Like like I said, I'm a New Yorker. I like Broadway plays.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at concerts. I just love being out. I love air, fresh air. And when I was disciplined. Like I work in the health space. I was tracking COVID-19 cases. Like I was a part of that. That was my unit. And so I had to be the disciplined one. I did sessions on it. And I helped people heal and, help them deal with anxiety and isolation and being alone and feeling alone. But I think that's the reason why Zoom had become so popular and it was able to, connect with your loved ones and realize appreciation for just being in other people's spaces and sharing that. And I think that's so important to me. And so like with the booklet and My Care and Wish, one of the prompt questions is like, what are 3 things that you like about other people? What are some things that you realize that you like about yourself? And, how you can incorporate that into your loved ones. And, what are some goals that you want for the next 3 months in terms of like interacting with another adult or,
Right.
with a colleague or with a friend of yours? Like how many times we said we were going to reach out to a friend of ours and just life became lifing and you didn't reach out to that person and now it's 3 months later and you still haven't connected with that person. So I encourage people to really spend time with connecting with others. And it's not just something that we just want to say in passing, right? But I really enjoy being around people and having friends and spending time with
Mm-hmm.
my family. And, even my extended family is a lot of fun there. And even with my siblings, we just really like have a strong connection. I'm the youngest, I'm the baby. So it's like being able to, yeah, and they treat me like it too. But,
Ooh, don't call them out on here. You
I
called
know,
them out on
shout
the
out
air.
to
They
my
all listening.
siblings. They are. They better be listening. But I am definitely like their little one that I'm like, I'm grown, right? But, just being social and really connecting with people and really wanting to know what's going on in people's lives. Like, I really want to know, how are you doing? What's going on? How can we connect? And it's important. So for some people that may be more of an introvert, like, put it in your calendar, make it like a different hobby where you're like, okay, this week I'm going to reach out to, whatever friend that is or cousin that you haven't connected with and just really put in that work because it can help you. It can help your spiritual state, your social state, and it will be good for you.
That's what I'm talking about. Listen, it is 37 minutes past the hour on the Morning Machine, the machine that makes your mornings move, with the founder of My Caring Wish LLC, Dee Felipe, MBA, out of New York City, Brooklyn. From Brooklyn,
Yeah.
proud native Brooklyn Knights. And by the way,
Yes.
I got a fun question to ask you before we start to wind this interview down. You like Broadway plays. What are your
I
top
do.
3 Broadway plays that you have attended to date?
Oh my goodness. I can really show you my play bowls. Like I collect them,
Woo.
the play bowl. I have a collection of them. I love Broadway play. I saw it recently, Ain't Too Proud to Beg.
Good
That
one.
was a lot of fun. The Temptation Story. My favorite, honest favorite, is The Lion King. I
Yeah,
love The
yeah,
Lion King.
yeah.
It's just, it's amazing. It's like no other. How you become a part of the play within the audience.
Right.
And my second one is Hamilton.
Yeah.
That was
Woo-hoo.
that's
Talk to
incredible.
me.
It is really really good. Just the history, the the language, just the vibrant
The
characters,
hip hop in it
dancing,
though.
like the flow.
I
It's all
had
of
no
that,
idea
right?
these guys could go like that. They could go with the best.
Right. It was really good, and there's nothing like even watching it on Disney, no, and seeing it in theater is just like, oh. So those two is my top, and I'm going to see Tina
Okay.
next month.
Nice.
So looking forward to seeing Tina. I like Chicago. Chicago's really good.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's a few of them, but then I also like to give time to the off Broadways, to the Beacon Theater. Also, just where there's a play in Harlem, or some up and coming where some black folks are just being creative or watching a
Yes.
dance performance. I really enjoy that as well. But being a part of the arts is something that just it sparks just a different type of dynamic for me, and that could be like going to the museum or going to an art festival. I envision having an art a showcase. I like to collect art. Like anytime I
Nice.
travel international,
Uh-huh.
my goal is to bring back like street art. And so I have
Ooh.
a good amount of pieces, whether it's from Cuba, Dominican Republic, South Africa, that I just like to bring back home, and eventually have a space where I can like showcase it.
Nice, nice, and look, I mean, I love it. I give you my top three. One is not going to be the one that gets Tony Awards, but I've seen many plays. Now they're not broad. The first play I seen on Broadway was Aida.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was the first play I've ever seen on Broadway, and then it became Lion King, and then Hamilton.
Yes,
But I
right.
also
Like.
but I'm not going to sleep on on other plays that I've seen, like Woman Thou Art Loose, and other play series and what have you. I'm not them either, but still
Mhm.
phenomenal plays, and I understand why. But it also brings you to peace to see, the arts in front of you, the performing arts in front of you, which can bring a sense of peace and actually help with your wellness, and that is absolutely phenomenal and just awesome. Because remember, when you go see these plays and you engage in the performing arts, especially if you're a performing artist yourself, even whether you're on the teaching
Mhm.
side or you're on the stage, either way,
Mhm.
it still helps with the mental side of things. It really helps all of the seven pillars of wellness. It actually, because you can be social, you need finances to attend, right?
Right.
It is an intimate setting to that you and your partner can go to, you and your significant other can go to, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta expound on some cardio to get there, because either you're walking up some steps or you're doing something, right? So you're gonna build up
Right.
some cardio
The
doing that,
commute.
and then
The commute.
right. I mean, it just all relates. The arts can be a portion of that well-rounded portfolio that you have daily.
Yes.
Those seven pillars, and just going to that could actually be the seven pillars in one. There are a few things where you can have that, and
Right. You're gonna eat before or after.
right. See, it all relates. And see, if you're not seeing what we're speaking of here, it's so well rounded that you may go to one thing and it expounds upon all of the seven pillars of your health and wellness
Mhm.
in one. And just like I said, performing arts does that for you. And even moving forward, as you said, you were going to look, start doing some art shows and art displays and what have you, from pieces of from around the world, as you are a collector of art. And what are other ways that you intend to grow from here with My Caring Wish? What's next?
Yes. So, what's next? That's a good one. Well, I would like to continue expanding with the audience and having people get the booklet. So, like I said, sign up so that you can take the initial step with doing an assessment and moving forward with not feeling overwhelmed and more accomplished with your life goals. And that's what the booklet will help with that. And we do like biweekly sessions
Mm-hmm.
and follow up via email and having like a community for the self. I'm continue to grow within the real estate investment plan. I continue to be an investor. I enjoying life life, growing that way, building a family. Just continue to enhance and realizing that where I'm at today is not where will be tomorrow, and looking for brighter days, brighter futures, and evolving with life and learning more.
Got it. And as a matter of fact, I just love the growth. And beside the the 7 pillars of health, I mean, this is something that you know we all um, we all need to really get into and hone in on. So that is the thing there. And, I just want to say it's just absolutely phenomenal what you're doing and you continue to do. And, like I said, we want to make sure that we know there's 25 people listening, way more than 25 people listening. So I would expect, and I'm sure you would expect to get those 25 people instantly, all right, to reach out to you. And how do they reach out to you to get the booklet, 7 Pillars of Health and Wellness?
Yeah, so people could follow me at my underscore caring, SCARING underscore wish. So the business came about because it was my wish to care for others. So it's my caring wish, or Dee Felipe, as DFELIPE at mycaringwish.com. So within those two outlets, people could reach out to me in order to, sign up for the challenge and also to get the booklet. And I know this interview has been absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Definitely want to give thanks to my parents and to my siblings for the motivation that they have given me throughout my life. And like I said, my extended family. There's a lot of love there. My EYL family is truly a strong dynamic on how we move. And just like friends and family, all the people that have participated, my investment group, my ladies there. And so I just want everyone to take this booklet and just realize wellness. And I have a pledge that I want people to do for wellness.
Mm-hmm.
I encourage people to, have better care of themselves, and to make a promise to encourage everyone to just stay engaged and just complete the course and complete the journey and go through these different pillars as they find the right resources for them, and just pledge to be more active and just having a better, healthier lifestyle for one another. I definitely look forward to, engaging with other people, meeting new friends, meeting new people, and just growing for myself, growing for my business, and being inspired.
Absolutely. Remember, 25 people. We need those 25 people to reach out to Dee right now. Not now, but right now. Okay?
Right now.
Yes.
Probably now 20 more people because I'm reached out.
Oh, you already got 5 now? Oh, see? So now we're down to 20 people at the moment. We might be down to 15 by the time I say this. So the email is D Felipe, FELIPE at mycaring, CARING, wish.com. Or you can DM on Instagram at my underscore caring, CARING underscore wish. Somebody is going to get this booklet about the 7 pillars of health and wellness. Somebody's going to get that. I think we can guarantee the 5 people that have already done it, and there's probably more coming in. Ding, ding, ding. You're probably getting a whole bunch of notifications right now, aren't you?
Yes. And then, Rob, I'm going to send it to you too, Rob. I'm going to send it to you.
Well, yes. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And while you're at it, go ahead and autograph that. Put a little foreword in there for the machine. Why not?
I will.
And I will cherish it as I will cherish it as much as I can to my heart. You know what I'm saying? Because the 7 pillars of health and wellness are highly, highly, highly. That's a triple highly important. And once again, thank you to the EYL Event Planning Committee and Business Club for just giving us phenomenal interviews on Tuesdays. Just absolutely phenomenal. And also, shout out to everybody listening in, making the machine a part of their routine this morning. And we thank you so much for listening in. Once again, the Queen from Brooklyn, who will teach you how to Dougie, because it's part of the 7 pillars. See, I can't even say pillars right. Pillars of health and wellness. I promise you, I'll say it this morning. It's morning. Don't mind me. But the 7 pillars of health and wellness. Make sure you connect. She is our entrepreneur of the week, and make sure that if you don't get her there, you can also go to 1026thesituation.com and also connect on Instagram there if you're on desktop, or also you can click the banner ad and connect there, and it will go straight to mycaringwish.com, and that'll be up for the remainder of the week. And there is a special on there too. Apparently there's a special on there. It says something about a winter sale, 22% off with 2-month challenge, right? Talk about that for a second, if you don't mind.
Yeah, definitely. So starting in March, there is the 2-month challenge for My Caring Wish, and that's what we do your assessment, and you can determine which pillar we will focus on. So it will be 4 sessions out of the 2 months. I don't want to overwhelm people, so it's bi-weekly. We'll start in March and end in May, and you have one of the weeks we'll go over the initial step of the assessment, followed by the different steps that you're taking. And then at the end, we'll wrap it up and conclude on what your next steps would be towards your future and towards the pillar that you wanted to focus on. I would include some bonuses in there, but we have at least one pillar that you want to allocate time to, and then we have follow through in a community regarding that. So yes, it's 22% off for this session if you sign up, and it will be either group sessions or individuals depending on your lifestyle.
The lifestyle. The lifestyle is based on those 7 pillars of health and wellness. And that is courtesy of My Caring Wish. Thank you, Dee, so much. I really appreciate you being on the Morning Machine this morning, and it was absolutely phenomenal.